I think both myself and Trevor felt that we had something pretty solid, and certainly Video was the standout song. But I mean, we at the time we were completely unknown guys. We were plying our trade in London. A couple of northern boys come down to earn a living, and we did the demo and took it around every single record label in the UK, and we got rejected by every single label. And I remember some guy sitting there and saying, "No, that'll never sell. We just signed a band called the Corgis. You've got no chance." So we literally hit a brick wall. Everyone, by total chance, my girlfriend at the time was working at Island Music, and she took a copy in, and the head of Island Music Publishing listened to it and sent it to Chris Blackwell, who's the sort of big guru of Island Records, and he said, "Sign those guys immediately." That was it.
Wow.
Done. And we'd already been rejected by Island about 3 times before that.
Yeah.
And he said, "Sign those guys. That's what I want on the label."
That must give you an amazing sense of satisfaction after all that rejection. That single went to #1 in the charts. It was such a big success for you, and then all of a sudden, then you're everywhere. You're on top of the pops. You're a huge band. You're big pop stars. What was that like to sort of adapt to after all those years of struggle?
It was pretty tough. I mean, I think that it happens so quick. You don't really have time to look back on it and review it, because you're sort of in it. It's like a total melee. I mean, I think I was probably more tuned into it than Trevor was. I think Trevor was more reluctant as a pop star than I was. I mean, I was loving it. I lived every second of it. But,
yeah.
I think Trevor felt more comfortable being in the back room, and I think that manifested itself in later years when he became, the huge record producer that he is today.
Of course.
I suppose I channel my energies more into the performance side and being having a profile.
Yeah, of course. And when you're in that situation where all of a sudden you become a pop star and you live that pop star life, is it almost impossible not to let that go to your head? It must be very difficult to keep your feet on the ground when all of a sudden you're the man.
I think it's difficult, and I think that whatever way you look at it, however much success you've had, there will always be that element that it doesn't change your personality, but it certainly it changes your view on certain things.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realise that from within, the view from within is nothing like the view from outside to within.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I mean, it does change. Sometimes you get a bit too cocky.
Yeah.
But there's always someone there to knock you down.
Well, how do you? It's interesting because do people change? Do your family and friends change towards you, and all of a sudden you're on top of the pops?
Yeah, I don't think necessarily your family changed, but certainly the way some of your friends perceive you, because all of a sudden you're out there and you're in the public eye and you're on the front of magazines and all the rest of it. And that's what, the Buggles was a very immediate pop success. And, as I say, I wouldn't change that, because I think that if you go back to the actual record itself, it's a very musical record.
Yeah.
We were musicians, we weren't video stars or anything like that. We were just guys who made music.